He had a fantastic laning phase, actually going up against Candy Sivir. Really wasn't held down, and they did a number on Looper.
They really did, and we're straight into it here for our next game. It looks like Master3 might want to answer back here and see if they can split their series, but EP are on the blue side this time, M3 over on the red. We've got Rumble and Annie, actually very different bands already coming through for EP, but again, the same two bands for M3. It is going to be Lee Sin and Jarvan, both jungle bands again.
Yeah, so once again, taking it away from Drizzle, not respecting that Rengar play whatsoever. I'm sure he'll be happy to go back onto that. Lissandra taken away from Looper. That has been definitely his most favorable performance so far.
Yeah, it really has here. So a smart ban there as the last one for EP. And Janna this time, the adaptation for M3, which does leave Gnar open.
Yeah, it certainly does give the ability for Gnar to be taken into the top lane. But hey, it wasn't a bad pickup last time. Why not just go straight back to the Hecarim?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Instead, gonna take the Kassadin. Very bold pick there by Energy Pacemaker. That was M3's first pick from our last draft.
Yeah, it certainly was. And this means that Looper can potentially run the Gnar. Does perform relatively well against Kassadin. Better in a 2v1, you would have to say as well, because of that mini Gnar ranged form. But there's always a potential that Kassadin will be in the mid lane against Raphael. And that makes me a little bit happy because it means that there is a potential for the Yasuo, the Zed, things like that to come out from Dade. Xerath, just not a very Dade-esque champion, I find. No control and no kill pressure really around the map with it in that game. So I like the fact that they're going with the Thresh, they're going with the Vi again, and let's see if they can generate some pressure around the map with it.
Yeah, two same pickups there for M3, so sticking to some of their comfort picks with Thresh and Vi. But for me, M3 just run into issues with champion pools in that last game. Dade looked uncomfortable, Loop was not a good champion, but was forced into an awkward 2v1, and Candy, who played fine, doesn't seem to have much outside of Corki Sivir. In fact, they're not even going to give Corki over because EP might just take it again.
Yeah, exactly right. Once again, if they take away the Corki, then it really does leave Candy with the Sivir. And if they take a tanky jungler, then once again, we have the same problem of Sivir just being forced back, not being able to respond against it.
Yeah, and Rengar's open again. Drizzle was building fairly tanky if he wants to go for it. I mean, that will be fine. It's not a massive tank, but we'll have to see what happens, especially if Amazing Day does maybe take Hecarim in the top for mid Kassadin. Yep. That opens up a whole lot of opportunities. So Corki and Rengar there for EP.
Yeah, it's the exact same lineup so far, except you just swap a Kassadin for a LeBlanc, and you have to say that they feel pretty much the same job throughout the mid-late game, just being able to jump onto a person and assassinate them. So nice pick ban coming through once again from Energy Pacemaker. See if Master3 have a response. Yeah,
and I wonder what they'll change, if anything, here. They've already, again, gone for some of those comfort picks with Thresh and Vi. Looper is going to look at Gnar here maybe as well. I love that they seem to be leaving Dade with last pick. I think Dade is weirdly much better on red side than blue side because he does love to counter pick, and it is going to be Kalista this time for Candy. So they're going to mix it up, and Gnar there for Looper.
Yeah, I like it. Much more heavy engage coming through from Master3 this time around. This time, they're going to be the ones looking to get on top of the carries and really mix it up. We've seen that if you try and use too many spells and, I guess, key cooldowns on other champions that aren't Kalista, she can just run over the top of an end of a team fight. Really values those resets that come through from Rend, and if that is the case, just adds a lot of surprising burst damage, as well as CC through the slow.
Yeah, I mean, Kalista's a great champion. We saw Uzi's Quadra yesterday was disgusting. So a lot of these LPL AD carries do love this champion. A lot of players showing preference, but that's Hecarim Nami there for EP. One of the biggest issues when you play Kalista is she also, much like Sivir and a bit like Corki, can't bust tanks.
Yeah, exactly right. Doesn't really go for that crit build and has to maybe go 2 or 3 items before she can get the last Whisper, and doesn't just output the same amount of damage with the Runan's Hurricane build. So does put her in a weird situation. However, what it does do is if they lane swap here, Kalista will have a field day against Hecarim in lane.
And Kalista does like lane swapping a fair amount. She's decent in a lot of 1v1 lanes, but Corki might be a little too aggressive for her, so maybe wants to swap out there. And what are they going to give to Dade? That would be a champion to give to the man himself. And it looks like they are going to go for it here. Not much left, and Dade gets Zed.
Yeah, so this is a Dade champion to the T. Zed's so good, being able to split push, create pressure around the map, look for him to be aggressive early against Raphael. It's just a much better early mid-game focused champion, and suits the way Master3 need to play, because if they can get ahead, they can really take the game to them. However, if they fall behind again, we saw Energy Pacemaker just willing to play methodical on this patch.
Yeah, and they did very well with basically the same lineup here for EP, you have to say. They're playing practically all of the same champions. The Nami is going to be a bit different without the Thresh, a bit more defensive there for Shu, but still with some playmaking potential. Amazing Day is back on the Hecarim with Ignite Teleport, so he's going to be doing that again, but I do agree that M3 could have the same problem, and of course, if they get ahead, that's fine. But at least with this comp, they have much better mid to late game than they did with the last one.
Yeah, certainly, and they have, I guess, the answer in a tank in the top lane. If you fall behind in your Looper, you're obviously going to get tanky on this Nah, so it's not a big as deal as it is when it was the Kassadin in the top lane. So he at least has that insurance policy of just being the big CC bot and let the Kalista, let Dade to do all the damage. And their single target lockdown CC and ability to be able to delete someone really does make them a threat around these early dragon fights. Denying vision, being able to set up picks will be key.
And we can't forget as well that we might even have a split push battle in the mid game here. We've got Kalista who can split push with the Hurricane, but Zed is a split push champion through and through.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they will be looking to potentially take the Kassadin down there. Of course, Kassadin's item build with the roller into Hourglass makes him surprisingly tanky, so Dade might have some early struggles, but he will be looking to split push after the level of 11.
Well, we'll see Dade. Can his Zed do it one more time? We're going to find out soon. And we're on to the roof for Game 2 between Energy, Pacemaker, and Master3. Dade on Zed. Finally something that he's a bit more used to, and we talk about it a lot. M3 look best when they're comfortable, especially the Samsung twins, Dade and Looper. Looper just finding his tanks there with the Nah. But if anyone's going big in this game, it is Dade.
Yeah, and he's certainly recognized the fact that he needs to be a playmaker. Can't sit back on the likes of Xerath and be happy to farm, because even though he did completely fine, just nothing happened around the map for his lineup. So get on a playmaking champion, look for some picks, look for some flashy style points, and maybe get some confidence into this Master3 lineup.
Yeah, Dade definitely a big emotional feel sort of player. When he's feeling confident, he plays like, and you can tell, and it's the same when he's behind. He's buying those Magi's. He's kind of sitting back, not really being the Dade that we know he can be when he's at his peak. But Energy Pacemaker coming off one hell of a last game there as well. Looking very strong. If they can replicate that sort of game again, M3 are going to struggle.
Yeah, exactly right. They just played that from start to finish better than their opposition. So if they can get in a similar position where they're confident they can get the lanes they want and they have matched the lane swap here, then they have a good opportunity to get Amazing J into the same position he was last time. Just a massive tank, impossible to deal with this Hecarim, and try and metaphorically run over the top.
Yeah, we'll see. He did a lot of literal running through the team in the last one. Amazing J, though. We're going to have a look at EP Summoners, by the way, because of course Amazing J is back with teleporting that, so very aggressive. I love this choice by Raphael as well, going for that exhaust against Zed.
Yeah, trying to make sure. Ooh.
Yeah, Kane actually maybe going to get caught out here. The play does come in there as well. Candy's going to do so much damage here with the level 1 Ren. Candy's in a whole host of trouble, gets rendered to death, and Thresh picks up first blood.
Yeah, that is a fantastic kill. Candy being able to pick that one up. More importantly, going to have an experience advantage now in the lane. If they can shove back, get a quick buy. Daggers are a fantastic first item for Kalista to be able to pick up, so it doesn't even really hurt the fact that he didn't pick up the money himself.
Yeah, I mean, so cheesy there from M3, who's bottom lane, but it pays off there in the 2v2. Poor little Name stuck now, and Dade getting very aggressive level 1.
Yeah, so Dade looking to trade with that Shuriken. If you can get into Kassadin's face and not have to throw it through any creeps, it just does so much damage, and that's exactly what came through there. He's looking to, I guess, try and bully out. Kassadin does surprisingly well against AD champions because can max that E, but Dade still with the Shadow will do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and he's level 2 now as well. And this is the Dade we're used to, playing a little more forward in his lane, trading aggressively early on with his opponents, and most importantly for him, looking comfy.
Yeah, exactly right. Looking to get in the face and really try and force some things. Once again, zoning off creeps where possible, and lane's going much better right now for Master3 than probably they did the whole of last game.
Yeah, they're all going well now. Even Looper down the bottom was harassing Amazing J a bit on the Hecarim. Has transformed into Mega Nah now as well. And this will be a pretty, probably farm-heavy lane, but Looper does have some play there as well.
Yeah, he certainly does. Without the defensive summoner spell coming through, that Hyper will get a lot of work done. So look for him to maybe go for maybe even an early Hex Drinker, Brutalizer, something along those lines. I like sitting on a Phage with Nah, just not actually going into the Trinity Force until very late game, but synergizes with his kit extremely well.
Yeah, Candy, you're going to continue pressuring down the creeps. Kane has returned to the top lane with Corki. Only 4 CS blinds actually not too bad, but the experience, like you mentioned, is going to make things a bit tricky.
Yeah, and that means just the earlier level 6, and it's the little things that really make these duo lanes explode. If you get to level 6 earlier, all of a sudden you're dealing with 2 ultimates. instead of just the one in a normal 1v1 lane, and a lot more kill potential coming out of a Thresh. So if you throw a Thresh in there, doesn't actually have to land a Lantern to get the good box through, and really will force the pressure towards the later levels of this lane.
Yeah, so some really nice zoning. Actually, Kane forced a Valkyrie out. That's a lot of mana there. So M3 winning a lot of these early 2v trades, and Dade, comfy there, sitting equal on CS, actually has 2 longswords already.
Yeah, so had gone back to buy, topped up his potions as well. Has a second longsword, and that's why the CS is so close. He was building himself a lead, but wants the early item advantage to really be able to take it to this Cassidy.
Yeah, make sure he can, I think, push the wave aggressively as well. Maybe is more important to him. Good movement there by Kane. Actually hid behind the caster creep, sorry. Did not get hooked in, and Dream's now going to rotate in towards EP's jungle. Drizzle could be in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of damage comes out of Vi.
Yeah, just excessive force plus the Vault Breaker straight to the face, and Dreams happy to fight here. Actually, Drizzle has to be very careful, but Dreams does get locked up by the bowler, but takes control of the jungle.
Yeah, and now there is actually a dive potential in the mid lane. Raphael is low. Dade has his Ignite available.
Yeah, gonna go in. That's a flash Vault Breaker. Raphael forced a flash as well. Dade just pokes them off, but that's so much zoning.
Yeah, and that is a huge creep wave crashing against the turret. The experience is such bad news for Raphael. They might even be able to stop the back, and that's really good news once again for Master3.
Yeah, we talk about early games being important for these teams. M3 are already up 800 gold here early on after that first blood, so things looking up, and we kind of talked about it with these teams. If one team gets ahead early, it seems like that might just be their game. But EP with the last game they had, I'm certainly not willing to discount them.
Yeah, definitely not, especially because the Hecarim is farming relatively nicely. It's behind about 8 CS, but we'll be able to pick up this wave. And it's so scary when you're a Cassidy and your jungler gets chunked out because you know the dive is imminent. You can't push the wave back quick enough. You just can't wave clear to make them take all of that damage from the turret. And Raphael was really left without much of a good choice there, but to burn the summoner spell.
No, and Dade got a nice CS lead now as well, but Drizzle actually going to take out a ward. Dade knows that's done though, so doesn't feel any pressure at all here. And one of the nice little things about Vi that we actually didn't mention in the pregame is Vi obviously good against ADs, but surprisingly good against Cassidy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Being able to Vault Breaker in and then follow the Rift Walk is an important part of Vi's kit. And just the lockdown CC. What you don't want to do, though, is Assault and Battery first and then be taken on a journey with Cassidy over walls into the dark beyond, because then you really can find yourself in the middle of nowhere.
We'll see here as Candy does actually return. Love CD up towards the top lane. Candy actually a couple CS ahead, so looking decent there. And looks like Thresh has gone back pretty early here. Got some Moby Boots and some wards there, so maybe Love CD is going to look to get aggressive.
Yeah, looking to get around the map and try and help out a little bit. No combat stats, however, coming out of those Moby Boots, so it does make the level 6 that they're going to get relatively soon a little bit weaker. In the bottom lane, Looper had actually used his Gnar just for some bullying potential, so he's feeling good as well. He's about 10 CS up, has forced the early back out of Amazing J, and still sitting nicely. Amazing J going for those Ninja Tab. I love those pickups. That is one of the most underrated first item back against a ranged top laner, because they just do so much auto attack harass. Being able to withstand that is fantastic.
Yeah, so really strong stuff from Amazing J, but Looper will go back here and get his Phage. I love the aggressive pickup. Just what you're looking for, Spawn.
Yeah, Phage is just so good because it means that you can get towards that hyper so much easier. It allows you to continue to throw out those auto attacks, be that nuisance that Mini Gnar can be, and gives you some good synergy in this earlier part of your kit.
Yeah, Amazing J, they're going to dive in onto Candy. Pops the ulti. Candy could be in trouble here. Amazing J going to get rendered back and forth. Forces to heal his Candy. Hopping back and forth with the rank. Gets ignited though, and Amazing J gets the solo kill.
Yeah, it goes absolutely huge there. Teleport burnt from Looper as well, which means they now no longer have any dragon pressure. And that is just the usefulness of the boots 2 coming through. No damage was once again being done by that Kalista, just too much armor.
Yeah, no buy there for Candy. Now has the Rika bow and 2 daggers, but wouldn't probably help that much against the Ninja Tavi anyway. Here, blue buff is going to go into Dade. Maybe no, Kane going to go in. The blue buff I think got stolen by Drizzle. Now Kane going to move in. Love City plays them away, and very aggressive steal by Energy Pacemaker.
Yeah, and after a good start for Master3, things starting to fall apart. Dragon will now go over to them. Looper not even really getting much work done against Amazing J now in the top lane after he's picked up that build. Just too tanky.
Oh, Nazem into the wall. Actually, maybe going to look to get aggressive, but no, just again, some harass there. Looper knows he's not going to be able to make it to the team fight in Dragon. And Energy Pacemaker, yet again, that is, I think, 6 straight Dragons in a row in these 2 games.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Looper, he just uses that to try and get some harass down, force him out of lane. He's looking to pressure the turrets as objectives right now. Candy needs to dodge the Hecarim for a couple of minutes now, because we saw how badly that last fight went. He hasn't picked up any extra AD, and because of the fact that he is going this Runarn's build, it will be probably Runarn's into BT into the Last Whisper, meaning that he's going to have a very late ability to fight this Hecarim.
Yeah, Looper trading nicely here against Amazing Joe. They're about to transform back into Mega Gnar, so going to AoE down the waves here. Dream's actually coming through as well. Might be looking for a gank in the top lane.
Yeah, maybe looking for a turret dive. No Ignite available, so relatively low kill pressure. They have pinged him out, though. The fact that they might be looking to invade onto that blue buff as it was stolen on their side. Maybe even just put some pressure on this turret.
And really good presence of mind there by EP. Amazing J gets out very quickly. Does have his teleport if he needs it. But they're going to pressure the tower in towards the top side. Meanwhile, Dade in the mid, back with his Bilgewater Cutlass. Now, Raphael got the arm guard, but not quite the catalyst, so Dade still looking strong here. 10 CS ahead.
Yeah, so Dade having a very good early game. The turret actually falling in Master3's favor. There's a lot of talk right now about whether the early turrets or dragons are more beneficial. Teams seem to be going towards early turrets just because of the fact that you can buy those raw item stats and then force the game. With Trinity Force users, with users that go the tank stats, the first dragon doesn't really contribute that much to them as compared to the first early gold. So you might even say at this point in the game, Master3 still holding on to a slight lead.
Amazing Joe, they're actually going to get hit with the Vault Breaker. There's the Assault and Battery is on. Looper following in there a mini now, but it's not quite enough. The Onslaught comes back in. Amazing J picks up Dreams, but Dade diving in the back. That's a great ulti and wallop there by Looper. There's the double actually. Zed going off.
Yeah, Dade able to pick up 2 of those kills. 1 goes over. Action in the bottom lane.
Yeah, True very low down the bottom. Candy kiting him around. I love CD. Gets the first kill. Kane though going to kite back and forth. Candy very smartly doesn't go too far forward, but they get a free kill 2v2.
Yeah, able to pick that one up in a heads-up 2v2 play. Once again, it goes over to the support player. So Love CD, the beneficiary of these little scuffles, but forcing Kane off experience, very important. Another turret in the mid lane goes down, and things in the little scrappy mid games looking much better for Master3.
Yeah, we talk about Dragon versus Gold. It's represented very nicely here. EP have picked themselves up the Dragon, but M3 are close to 4,000 gold ahead in this game. Blade of the Ruin King is done for Dade. Unfortunately, the 2 outer turrets are done. Kane does dodge the hook. Not going to get picked up there. Candy and Love City probably want to leave their lane so Dade can split push Summer, but he's got so much room now.
Yeah, he certainly does, and a very good option to go bottom lane. I like that you picked that out. As soon as you have Blade of the Ruin King, your dueling potential on Zed is huge. Couple that with the fact that there are no summoner spells bot lane so far, he might have a field day.
Yeah, and Dade, he needs one here if he wants to pick up a win for his team. He's on the Zed looking very comfortable. And just double buffs actually now as well. So it benefited a lot from those last few kills. And this is the funniest thing to me about Looper and Dade, the real highlights for this M3 team. Looper seems like he's playing best when he plays standard, and Dade seems like he's best when he's not.
Yeah, exactly right. Dade has a very particular champion pool. It's something that legacy-wise, when he was playing a lot of Jace, Ryze, these tier champions, he was heavily criticized for, but stuck to his guns. Recently, he's looked like he has gone much more meta, as the ultimate actually coming out in the bottom lane from Kalista.
There could be struggle street, but Kane does get hooked up. Candy going to move in now as well. The teleport here for Amazing J. That's an amazing double bubble. Amazing J coming in, gets the kill onto Candy, but Dade is down towards the bottom. He wants Kane. He's going to pop the ulti. Kane's going to go down. Dade going to kite his way back. The onslaught was saved though. Dade goes back to... No, he died. That's very unfortunate. Love City going to go down now as well. And that's a win. A triple for the horse.
Yeah, 3 for 1 and a triple kill for Amazing J. 5-1 and 0 now. He's going to get back to that tanky Frozen Heart build. And once again, just not understanding Looper's teleport on cooldown. They can't fight that because Amazing J able to get in there and really make them pay.
Yeah, Hecarim ult is no joke here, and Energy Pacemaker closed that gold gap back to about 1,000 now. So even Raphael benefiting by a couple of assists as well. So things swinging back, and it's been a very pendulum mid game.
Yeah, it certainly has, and I guess the only thing bad for Energy Pacemaker off that is now a lot of the resources sit on that top laner. So if they can group up and allow him to run point again the way that he did last game, that's a very good thing. But if Dade gets into the back line and is able to tear through these people that haven't finished up items yet, then it could be extremely poor. Across the board, a lot better balance for the Master3 lineup. Lupa's picked up a kill, Dade's got 3. Even Luz CD, he's getting nice and tanky on this Thresh. So a little bit better kill distribution, but a lot now riding on this Hecarim.
Yeah, Kane going to push aggressively. Hasn't got the Trinity Force yet. Actually a little late there on that one. Although should have it in about a minute or so. So not too bad, but going to be maybe 2 to 3 minutes slower than he would have liked. Dade returns there with the blue buff now in towards that side of the map. Dragon up in 50 and through, clearing out vision nice and early. And Candy with the Hurricane, so looking to push out waves.
Yeah, certainly trying to look to shred through them. That bottom turret might not be much longer for this world. Getting some nice deep wards down so they're safe when they take it. But if they can secure this next Dragon and get all of the other outer turrets down by 14 minutes, this game is already looking shades better than what they were putting up with last game.
Yeah, it really is here. And M3 going to look to try and contest for this first Dragon. It looks like up in 20 seconds, Drizzle will get himself the red buff now. Of course, does save the smite. 15 seconds. Actually would have been enough time, I think, for the charge if he had a second one, but instead we'll just make sure he takes it safely. And M3 got exclusive vision now, I believe, around this pit. So looking to maybe set up a pick with the Thresh.
Yeah, and they're looking to get a pick, use that Dade ultimate level 10 at this point. But now they're just teleporting into the top lane turret, recognizing that no one was going to fight them. Might actually lose mid in response, so it will be an objective trade, but still the first Dragon going over to Master3.
And so smart from Amazing J. Immediately runs down to the mid to help with the push, knowing that Lupa just used his teleport.
They're looking for a dive here. They want at least one turret, if not 2. And they're using Amazing J to really shepherd them off the turret, because as long as he's not being seen, it is so hard to engage here.
They don't know Amazing J has actually come down. Dreams uses his Vault Breaker, but I think now they know they're going to ping out onto him, and Amazing J not going to go for the big wraparound ulti, but we'll just walk down, and Lupa's going to walk down now as well.
Yeah, Lupa in Mega Gnar form, however, so he won't have that available for him for about 15 seconds. We'll be on cooldown, and we'll have to build up all of that rage, so that's good news out of Energy Pacemaker. Looks like they're just resetting, so not actually going for this turret, and now the split push has started. Dade into the bottom lane.
Yeah, I don't know if Kane had a Trinity Force then as well, but he could have really contributed to some of that turret damage, but we'll see. Instead, EP going to play it safe here. Dade walks over a ward, though. Thought about split push, going to look for a flank, and Drizzle's ulted. He's popped him, he's going to find him. Dade going to go in now onto this Rengar. Forced to ult him, but Raphael's rotated down. Can't get the kill, and Shu actually claims it.
Yeah, they used a lot of ultimates, however, to pick up Dade. Dade used his Ignite in response, but team not able to follow up, so a good pick coming out of Energy Pacemaker. Deep wards, Dade. Sweeper was up, didn't use it.
Yeah, no, just got a little aggressive. They could have just split pushed and taken the farm instead. Got greedy for the kill, and a great initiation by Rengar, flashing in with the ulti up. Able to get that. The turret does go down there as well. Kane pretty much one hit away there and just kind of spat at it and it went down. And now the Cassidy getting a lot of room as well. That's the other important thing. Raphael having all this time to power up.
Yeah, and once again, now the map is completely mirrored, but upside down for the lineup. Energy Pacemaker, they're looking to pressure the last outer turret in the top lane. Dade heading back to the bottom lane. That last outer turret is still up. So very equal game coming across from Master3 and Energy Pacemaker. This is more of what we're expecting, and now it's about who can execute better. Is it going to be the AD assassin being able to get in there and split push, or will it be this top Hecarim is so tanky?
Well, we expected the games to be maybe a bit more snowballing. Game 1 for EP certainly was, but I don't know who's going to win that sort of mid-game. A close game is a dangerous game for both these teams because they have struggled in the past, but if anything, this is a chance for them to really shine.
Yeah, it certainly is. With how similar these teams like to play, it will be very key to see who can get ahead now that the game is on this knife edge. At about 23 minutes, this is where the teams have started to struggle around the Baron and Dragon area, not being able to secure vision. In fact, look at how poor it is for both sides, particularly on the top side of the map. Master3 really only securing vision for themselves. No aggressive wards out there. Lots of black areas to be picked off.
And actually, M3 going to rotate in for Dade now as well, maybe looking for a pick. So they're going to stay aggressive here. Dade really getting helped out by his team. Lupa does save his turret in the top, but EP a group now is 4 in towards the mid lane. Going to look to get the push on.
Yeah, and there's a problem here for Master3 because I thought that Raphael would be the response to Dade, but Amazing J has got that far ahead. He's got a Frozen Heart and Ninja Tabai. There is no way he can be 1v1'd at this point in the game. So Dade has absolutely no choice but to recall and group up with his team or just try and avoid the Hecarim.
Yeah, and up towards the top as well. Good rotation coming through for EP. Going to try and take out that outer turret here. So we're going to even up the outer turrets if EP are able to get this one. Lupa, the only one available to help out, although the rest of M3 are quickly coming up there as well. And not too bad on the AoE wave clear, although he might have to get a little too close.
Yeah, he certainly isn't bad. The other thing is they need to be careful that they don't get over-aggressive because Na's CC lasts for about 3 years and the rest of the team would be able to join him. Dade might even be able to make it across the map. So wisely backing off there from the Mega Gnar, need to make sure that they're sieging against the mini version.
Yeah, and instead Looper actually going to force himself back. His teleport's up if he wants to use it. Amazing J going to push down here and towards the bottom as well. And things taking their time, and Looper has done the thing that I know you don't like very much. There's a Sunfire Cape now on the Gnar.
Yeah, so there's a Sunfire Cape on Gnar, and it's just... He has no problem pushing the waves by himself, can sit there, auto-attack, boomerang across it. A lot of CC, especially in the Mega Gnar form. I understand that he's doing it to try and match the presence that's currently coming out of Amazing J, which is fine in itself because of how far Amazing J is ahead. But Loop is CSing very well, and if he can't get to the very tanky final form of Gnar, then he might just start falling away in the mid-game. And this game looks like it's going to go late pastry time. So committing to mid-game items is a very dangerous prospect.
I mean, for me, it's interesting because every time I see a Sunfire Cape, I think of it as an investment you make. It's got decent stats, although Looper might maybe want something a bit bigger now. Amazing Day's already going in. Looper, no Mega Gnar form, bounces his way out though. Might be okay here. Dreams now going to move in, and Mega Gnar is going to be here as well. Raphael though going to poke his way inside. Looper does transform for a bit of extra health, and no kills forthcoming.
Yeah, that's 5v4. They're pinging out the fact that Dade is on the top side of the map, still split pushing. And this is the danger when you go for picks that aren't the Z. If you do not get the pick and Looper is extremely tanky, you are just made to pay because that's about 20 CS that Dade was able to pick up in response for completely free.
Yeah, just going to take it. He does back off because he knows that the rest of EP are backed up as well. And Looper, you know, this Sunfire Cape, if he's going to be doing more of this, especially when Dada is pushing, it's actually fine for him to have. And again, for me, it's an investment item. You make it to get to your next item. Yes, Warmugs is a great tanky item, but he's fine where he is now. Playing a little more to his teammate, maybe.
Yeah, exactly right. So, as I said, I understand that he just needed the earlier power spike because of the fact that Amazing J got this far ahead. It's just something that you have to understand what it does when you purchase it for you. It's not a great team fighting item. It is non-interactive. As soon as people start getting their first MR item, the damage falls away very noticeably.
So we'll see here as M3 going to move in for the next dragon. Actually, Amazing J caught in the top lane, does have his teleport, but M3 going to look to shred this dragon down. Dada even running interference down towards the bottom lane, but EP very good timing in wards, able to spot up that the dragon has been started. Amazing J is back off. He's got his home guard boots as well, so he's going to try and make a teleport in. Drizzle actually steals the dragon, but he's going to get killed there by Kalista after the ulti moves in. But Amazing J gets two there on the back line, take it through the bottom. Dada is down here as well. James is in trouble actually. Raphael moving in, but Looper gets very aggressive there, flashing in as the mini now, trying to do as much damage as he can. Amazing J going to get flayed back and rendered to shreds there by Kalista. Now left city doesn't even need the hook as Kalista gets the next kill. And that was 3-1 M3.
Yeah, 3-1 M3. Good news for EP was that Drizzle was able to pick up the dragon, so that was the only thing in their favor, but a fantastic team fight. And when you look at how M3 won that, it is horrible news for Energy Pacemaker because no good Gnar ultimate in there. He was actually running around as mini Gnar for the majority of the fight, and the exhaust went perfectly off on Dade, who was amongst 3 players, and actually had to back away. If we take another look at it, really good smite coming through here, and they pick off Drizzle, and that was the Gnar ultimate right there because he was about to turn back, so it pretty much did nothing. Dade, with the exhaust, was relatively ineffective throughout a lot of this fight, but good positioning by Candy, good positioning by Looper as well, and they were just able to clean it up in the end. It was actually very, very funny that Love CD went for another execute when the spears coming through, because this guy's Thresh has been on point. If that hadn't have hit that spear, he still would have been able to pick up the kill because of how well he's been playing.
Yeah, looks really strong. And actually, M3's bottom lane in general in this game and this that Blast team fight looks very strong there. Candy crucially had both his items done as well, so able to just wreck through people. And that's what we've seen with Kalista. She kind of she goes through like Katarina-esque Ren sets through fights.
Yeah, she certainly does. If the team's able to get one person low, she can get the slow out, and then that allows her to build the second set of Ren sets and really start getting the resets through. The CC is key, but the damage just becomes brutal as the game goes on. And I don't like what's happening here. Looks like Kassadin's going towards a Frozen Fist, or maybe even, I guess, a Frozen Heart could come through here as well. And whilst that's fantastic, he's going to be very durable. If they can't blow Candy up, and he is able to get that last Whisper, his damage potential in these fights just becomes higher and higher because it's a full tank. Once again, full tank Hecarim. if it's a full tank Rengar and then a very tanky Kassadin, they're just not going to have the ability to be able to delete him off the map. And with the shields coming through from that Bloodthirster, with the shield coming through from the face of the mountain as well, he might just get to the point where he can live through it all and then dance all over them. And
big tanks are great against Kalista because she does have so much trouble killing them, but you do still need to kill her. That's the thing, especially in clumped up team fights. She lifesteals so much with Hurricane plus BT, so you kind of want to lock her down, kill her as soon as you can, or zone her off the rest of the fight. But the problem is it's not just Candy that's a threat here. Dade Zed's gotten massive as well.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's been able to pick up that QSS, which just means that he won't be held down in team fights any longer. And Dade, this is what separates Dade from other Zeds for me. There's a lot of Zeds that are good split-pushing Zeds, really understand how to move him around the map. Dade is a great team-fighting Zed. He will jump in on carries and use his shadows very well to get around the fight and gets out a lot of AoE damage. So at the point he is in right now, probably the strongest Zed's going to get because the Zhonyas aren't coming through. The QSS isn't finished up yet. He's going to be doing brutal damage for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and still split pushing away as well, making plenty of space for his team here as he return Candy. Looking for a last whisper next, you think, there with the pickaxe. So moving in, and looks like up the top, Looper as well got a giant spelled in with the Spectre's Castle. Plenty of cost-efficient tanky items.
Yeah, it looks like he'll go for maybe a Warmogs or Randuin's next. I like the fact that he's just sitting on the Spectre's Cowl because if Raphael is aiming for a knife, ooh.
Yeah, Candy going to get jumped on. Drizzle, though, can't escape the lantern. The wave does come out, but it actually misses on the Candy, and that's it for EP's initiation.
They're two really good bouncers coming out of Looper in the last two catches that have come through. Fantastic lantern to save Candy, but the bounce coming through from Looper just ensures that he is in no danger of being collapsed on as well. And this makes sure that Dade, once again, soaking all of this experience and gold. I just checked in. He's about 2,500 ahead of his counterpart in Raphael. And the further this game goes down the Z track, the scarier it becomes.
Yeah, we even saw Dade waiting in the brush, using his sweeper, checking if any wards are there. He's kind of entering Dade mode right now, and M3 going to rotate as 4 now, take out this turret. Don't even need Candy, who's actually not that good at taking out turrets, but they'll get the tier 2 for themselves, 4-3 now in turrets.
Yeah, so able to move around. I guess the only danger they're in on this map is the fact that if everyone starts picking up armor and Thornmail, there is a potential that they don't have enough AP damage.
Love City actually going to hook onto Amazing J, but no follow-up. Dream's actually going to pop the ulti. That's a big commitment. Box going to move in there as well. Dade's diving into the backline. Amazing J, full-main ulti. Dade goes down, but with Kane getting the kill. But they did kill the initiation. Now Raphael going to jump again. Looper just whiffs the ulti, though.
Yeah, that was probably not the best ultimate, not what Looper was looking to do, and now they're in trouble.
Yeah, good double bubble there. Raphael finds Dreams there. Looper, though, going to go back in. He's so tanky, and Kane is low. Candy looking to get more reset. Shreds through everyone. And there's almost a wipe coming through. Drizzle gets a house thrown at him. Kalista finds the triple kill. Candy going massive.
Yeah, they re-engaged and weren't able to get on the priority target, which was Candy. I thought with the damage threat of Dade gone that would go much further in Energy Pacemaker's favor, but prop to Looper. He whiffed the ultimate that then used his massive Narv body to put out so much damage in CC. When you're on top of 4 people, that Sunfire Cape gives a heavy investment.
Yeah, we've talked about him as well already. Love City peeled beautifully for his support as well. Candy, though, could be in a bit of trouble. Going to find the lantern out there. Looper will turn into Mega Number. He's just running away at this point, and I think actually, no, Candy didn't. But it is cute to think about Fate's Goal plus Lantern. There's lots of reposition tools for that duo.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, you can move around wherever you wanted to, pretty much. Being able to throw someone out. But the Hecarim not having the impact it was last game, just not able to get in there and run point, not enough follow-up damage coming through. I really have to question the Kassadin build. Generally, if you have a higher damage threat at AD carry, sure, this would be fine. Ooh.
Yeah, Looper already teleported, so M3 are going in on sort of Shadows landing. Amazing game. Going in deep. Drizzle does find the first kill, and EP are all over this fight right now. Raphael, though, going to get out. Dade gets a double. He's going absolutely massive. Can he get any more? He's still moving in. Nah gets the next kill, and beautifully played there by Looper and Dade. There's the Nah, right into the wall for the double stun. There's the dribble for Dade, and let's make it 4. Does get the 4th. Quadra kill, Dade.
Yeah, Dade coming up huge, and that's a much better ultimate out of Looper. I spoke about how there is not enough damage on the lineup. That was a perfect turnaround for Energy Pacemaker. They got 3 people in all of their AoE, and no one died. All of their health bar was low, but if that was a Zhonya's Hourglass, if that was a Death Cap, that team fight is completely different.
And he called it the team fighting there from Dade. Looked amazing.
Yeah, so if we see this one again, good teleport from Looper, but all 4 members stacked on top of each other. Look how low the health bars are, but they're just not dying quick enough, and Dade goes crazy on the back line. The Gnar ultimate comes out very late, surprisingly so because of the evolve. And that was just a much better overall team fight for Master3. It was actually Lupa that took away the pentakill at the very end.
Yeah, stealing the penta away, but M3, I love the synergy. You could tell that they were leaving that last kill for Dade for the Quadra as well. You need to keep this man happy, but when he looks good, he looks unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's gone for a very snowbally build. He's picked up the Yomu's Ghostblade next, has those 3 items to do all the damage, and the QSS came up massive in that fight as well. Now they've got complete pressure over the Baron.
Run away. Yeah, I would Valkyrie Kane. Dade popped his shadow in the Ghostblade. Kane knows what happened. Kane knows the next step, and he doesn't like it very much.
Yeah, Lupa and Candy do so much damage to Baron at this point in the game with the Rend and the W that comes through from the Hyper. So that is a very real objective. With how tanky now this Gnar has become, he probably won't even take damage from Baron at this point.
Yeah, I think Dade just stole the blue buff of EP is on. And they're going to start the Baron. This is quite aggressive, but EP don't have vision around the area and don't really want to fight. Amazing J, though, is coming in there. He's going to try and ult team with a home guard. Drizzle does ult in. He knows what's up. He gets booked in. Dreams gets the Baron now. Now the fight's going to break. I love CD, though. Going to get aggressive, but Lupa just going massive there in the back of the fight. Love CD. Gets ulted out there, and Candy's kiting so well. Amazing J in the back, but Dade gets the first kill onto Kane, and that's all they really need. Amazing J dies eventually. That's 3 kills for 1.
Yeah, exactly right. Callista just not getting enough damage done to her at the start of that fight. Able to dance around the back of the pit. Lupa zoned the whole team. Amazing J went in and was like, follow up, and Lupa was like, no one is getting anywhere near my team. Really good Gnar once again in that fight. 2-0 and 50.
Dade could be in trouble. Goes in onto Raphael. Can't get the kill, and there's the shutdown goal for Kassadin.
Yeah, but that was even disgustingly close at that point for 2 people attacking Dade. They will still be able to pick up the turret for it. And 2-0 and 15. Lupa having a terrific game.
Yeah, Lupa looking very strong again on these more standard champions. Massive Gnar, literally and figuratively here, going tanky. He actually just finished his Trinity Force.
Yeah, so now he's a legitimate threat. With the lack of damage coming out of a lot of the members, it's only really Corki that's a threat at this point in the game. Lupa, one-on-one, will go toe-to-toe with anything on that Energy Pacemaker team.
And that's the thing that we've seen in those last few team fights. M3 have so many threats, and EP just run out of tanks to tank all that damage. Now with Lupa being a threat as well, that's bad news here for Energy Pacemaker.
Yeah, and the thing that is so great about this is they recognize they're an all-AD team damage lineup. They take turrets really quickly with the Trinity Force now coming through from Gnar, but they need to finish the game out relatively soon. As soon as the Warmogs and Thormails start coming through from Amazing J, as well as Drizzle in the jungle, it's just going to be so hard to deal with it that there's a timer on this game. They're recognizing what their win conditions are and really going hard.
Yeah, and I love that Dreams here as well is actually going for Warmogs as his item there, so making sure he is at least a big tank. Lupa very tanky as well, especially in Mega Gnar form, but Dreams just wants to make sure that there's always a frontline for his team, and there are big carries on this M3 team.
Yeah, there certainly is. They're now pushing into the base, probably looking for an Infinity Edge to come out last from Dade to really augment the end of his build. And they're able to just push and take the inhibitor. That's the bottom lane one. Pace return, that's the most important inhibitor on the map for this team. It just opens up Baron repetitively, and the split push is more devastating because of how far away it is.
Yeah, and the gold lead is just massive right now for M3. 10,000 gold in the lead right now. Third Dragon will be up for M3 in a minute 45, but honestly, they don't really need it. It's a little too far away to the 5th. They might as well just keep going.
Yeah, so they're just looking to push down this middle lane. Good presence of mind to sweep out the wards of EP in their side of the jungle, and now they're just going to look to siege up. More difficult with Gnar and Mega Gnar form, but he just might pull the trigger.
Yo, good hook there, and Amazing J as well. They're going to flame back. He tries to ult out, but he actually can't. Dade is going so deep in the back he wants to, but actually the Mikhails goes in, and Amazing J going to get killed there by Dade. Now Dreams in trouble as he dives in, but he flashes out. Candy going nuts in the back. Hook onto Kane as well, and M3 are just going in.
Yeah, and
Candy has had all the rent sets.
Candy went absolutely nuts, but it's all about Love CD at this point. This guy's Thresh is amazing, coming up huge. Drizzle looks like he'll be chased down, but it won't even matter. That will be game for Master3.
Yeah, M3 got so much structure damage there between the Kalista and Zed. And Dade finally a game where he looks like his old self again. But you said it, credit to Love City and the bottom lane of M3 in general. Played fantastically this game.
Yeah, he nailed 2 really key hooks in that fight. The first one to get it started, the second one onto Kane's Corki and went absolutely off. 2-3-14. Love CD showing it can carry from the support position.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we've seen it, but what a game overall by M3, especially from the bottom lane duo. And we said it, when Lupa looks comfy and Dade looks comfy, things look a lot easier than for M3, and that was not the easiest game to win.
Yeah, and you look at the M3 lineup and you think, where do they go without playmakers? They need Dade on these playmaking champs. They need Lupa on it because they have very standard people around them, but Dade just looks amazing when he's getting in there and mixing it up. We have a replay to show exactly what this game was all about. So this is the Dragon fight. Lupa's about to teleport. No, this is the first one. Let's roll this out. This is where Amazing Jay thinks he can swing it because at this point he's 5-1-0. Drizzle steals the Dragon but gets caught out. That was the Gnar there, so this isn't even an optimal fight. Dade dives into the backline, able to get out after they use so much on him. And at this point, Candy just completely unharassed. Love CD doing an amazing job of peeling, and they're just all over this fight. They just played it so much better technically than they did the game before, and I really think it is down to how much better playmaking they had in that game.
Yeah, I mean, team fighting was the name of the game there for MQ, and that's not been what they've done at all so far in the LPL. So for them to finally get some cover picks and actually play like a team was awesome to watch there. That was a big performance across the board from Master3.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it's one of those things you look down the line, every player in the second game played well. A split, not what they were looking for, but hey, maybe they'll take it.
Yeah, they'll absolutely take the points, and with that, a strong win there for Dade and his team to round things out. But of course, coming up, World Elite going to take on Gamti, and Gamti going to try and answer the question, can they keep the win streak alive? We'll find out soon.